Welcome back, true crime enthusiasts, to another chilling episode of Crimes in Chat. I'm your host, Chip Dawson, joined by my investigative partner and co-host, Dayle Harris.
Hey everyone! It's been a wild ride through this series, hasn't it? We've walked you through the stories of Amanda, Lindsay, and Emily, uncovering layer upon layer of terror and intrigue. And tonight, we've reached the climax. The investigation that led to the capture of the county line killer.
The name alone sends shivers down your spine. Over these last episodes, we've delved into the lives of the victims, the harrowing circumstances of their murders, and the grim reality facing Maple Ridge. But tonight, we're diving deep into the investigation itself. How did the FBI crack the case? How did they track down a killer who was always one step ahead, and what drove him to commit such heinous acts?
We're not holding anything back. This is the episode where everything comes together. So grab a blanket, keep the lights on, and prepare yourselves. Let's jump right in.
Before we unravel the investigation, let's recap what brought us here. 3 young women, Amanda Reyes, Lindsay Hayes, and Emily Carter, were brutally murdered over the span of 4 months. Each victim's story painted a grim picture, but it wasn't until Lindsay's body was discovered that the FBI began piecing together the killer's chilling methodology.
Lindsay's body was found in a shallow grave near Pine Hollow Trail. It had been there for weeks, concealed beneath layers of dirt and leaves. Forensics revealed a horrifying timeline. She'd been killed shortly after her disappearance, likely within hours of being abducted. The location of her burial, so close to where Emily Carter's body was staged, was no coincidence.
Lindsay's case marked a turning point. It became clear that this killer wasn't just targeting women in random locations. He had a pattern, a plan, and once the FBI caught on, the race to stop him intensified.
Let's talk about the man behind the terror. His name, Thomas Greer, a 42-year-old loner who worked as a long-haul truck driver. Greer had no criminal record, no obvious red flags. But beneath the surface, he was a master manipulator and an unrelenting predator.
The way he planned his crimes, it's the stuff of nightmares.
The breakthrough came when the FBI turned their focus to communication records. They subpoenaed phone records from the areas surrounding the crime scenes and analyzed hours of tower pings, narrowing down devices active during critical time windows. One device, used consistently near all 3 crime locations, stood out.
It was traced to a prepaid burner phone purchased at a truck stop in a neighboring state. The buyer? A man matching Thomas Greer's description. This was the first concrete link, but they needed more to build a case.
Investigators also analyzed discarded receipts and discovered purchases made with a credit card tied to Greer. Among them were items like heavy-duty gloves, duct tape, and plastic sheeting, all consistent with the methods used in the murders.
Then came the breakthrough from satellite imagery. Utilizing cutting-edge technology, analysts detected disturbances in the soil near Pine Hollow Trail over a 2-month span. These images correlated with the timeframes of the murders.
Further examination revealed tire tracks leading to these locations. The track patterns were unique, belonging to a specific brand of truck tires often used in commercial rigs. When cross-referenced with local truck service records, Greer's vehicle was flagged.
The final piece came from a witness, a park ranger who recalled seeing a long-haul truck parked along an access road near Pine Hollow on the night Emily disappeared. This confirmed Greer's presence in the area. With mounting evidence, the FBI was ready to act.
The FBI devised a meticulous plan to apprehend Greer. They began by studying his driving patterns and routines. Over weeks, they learned the exact days and times he returned to his secluded cabin in the woods.
Agents followed him discreetly, noting his preferred routes home from work. They discovered he always stopped at the same diner on Thursdays and took back roads to avoid major highways. This routine became his undoing.
On the chosen day, a small team of agents positioned themselves 2 miles from his cabin. They waited in silence, their vehicles hidden under camouflage. When Greer's truck finally appeared on the dirt road, the agents moved in.
Greer stepped out of his truck, seemingly unfazed by the FBI agents surrounding him. He raised his hands slowly, a calm smile on his face.
And that's when it began. The psychological games. Greer locked eyes with the lead agent, Agent Carter, and said, "You think you've won, don't you? But you don't even know the half of it."
Agent Carter later described the moment. It was like he was trying to get into our heads, planting seeds of doubt, but we held firm.
Greer spoke in a measured tone, trying to manipulate the situation. "You're all here because of what you think I did. But what if you're wrong? What if someone else is out there right now while you're wasting time with me?
The agents didn't bite. They calmly informed him of the evidence linking him to the murders. Greer's demeanor never changed. He leaned against his truck and said, "Evidence can be planted, stories can be fabricated. Are you willing to stake your careers on this?"
The chilling part came when agents searched his cabin. It was eerily pristine, almost too clean. But beneath the kitchen floorboards, they found a hidden compartment. Inside were photographs of the victims, locks of hair, and handwritten notes detailing their final moments.
The notes were horrifyingly detailed, revealing his cold, calculated nature. One read, "Amanda, the quiet one, didn't scream. Emily fought to the end but still lost."
Agent Carter recalled. It was like staring into the mind of a monster. Every detail, every memento. It was his way of reliving the murders. And he kept them hidden, right beneath his feet.
Greer, however, showed no remorse. As he was led away, he simply said, "You'll never understand why I did it. None of you are smart enough to see the big picture."
And the forensics told the story his words never would. The trophies, locks of hair, items of clothing, were damning. Each piece tied him to his victims in a way he couldn't deny.
So, who was Thomas Greer? A meticulous planner with a twisted sense of control. He targeted women who fit a specific profile, lured them to secluded areas, and carried out his crimes with chilling precision. His motive? Power. He wanted to feel invincible.
To our listeners, we hope this series has shed light on the bravery of law enforcement and the resilience of the victims' families.
But perhaps the most chilling aspect was his complete lack of remorse. Even in custody, Greer maintained his innocence, taunting the agents who worked tirelessly to stop him.
Thank you for joining us as we uncovered this harrowing story. If you enjoyed this series, please consider subscribing and sharing Crimes and Chat with other true crime fans.
And to everyone out there, stay vigilant, lock your doors, trust your instincts, and never take safety for granted. And as always, here on Crimes and Chat, stay curious, stay cautious, and stay safe. See you next time.